We're live. Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert back with the Ted Show. You guys aren't going to want to miss this one. I'm with the one and only Jere James. What's up, Jere? How you doing?
Hey, Ted, how are you?
Loving the pink in the background,
Thank you.
which we will get to in a second. I love this topic, dancing through COVID-19.
Yes.
Lots to talk about, but I'm so excited to have you on the show. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Ted. It's amazing. I've been a fan for years, so this is such an honor to be on your show. I'm just elated right now.
So sweet of you and kind. And
Aww.
I think the message that you have to share today is so important. And so I want people to know all about you. So let's learn origin. Let's hear about Jere. By the way, guys, I got her name right on the first try.
The first try this morning.
Yes. It's got that apostrophe, so you're never quite sure what that means, but I took a guess. And
I've been called Jerry for years. So when Ted was like Jere, and I'm like, oh, it's a wrap. It's gonna be the bomb.
Jerry. We will not call you Jerry.
Jerry, and I'm like, no. Nice
try. No, so Jere it is. All right, give us the origin story, Jere. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I am originally from South Florida, Palm Beach to be exact. Trained there for 16 years. Got the opportunity to travel to New York every summer to train with Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater. And then
talk about that. You trained doing what?
Dancing.
All right, well, you got to tell the people. You got to tell them.
I am I'm a professional dancer, a retired professional dancer, and now I am the artistic director and owner of Inez Patricia School of Dance, which is right here in Orlando, Florida, downtown.
All right, so you dance. So tell us about that journey a little bit. Was it tap? Is it ballet? Is it modern?
I was raised a ballerina for 14 years. And then I transitioned into the modern dance, right, like 17, 18. And I've been stuck with, modern ever since. That's like my juice.
What did you do? Because I think people don't realize that dance is it's a beautiful passion, but it's not just a hobby for some people. You actually earned a living at it. Tell us what you did.
I did. Yes, like I said, I was dancing, went to Alvin Ailey, and then they asked me to join their company. So I moved to New York City, which was amazing. The hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. But that, I think, gave me a platform to push myself more and harder, saying, I could do this as a career. I was always good. You dance when you're growing up as a little kid. But, that once you get to 18 and graduate high school, you kind of just let it be what it is. So I was like, I'm going to continue. I think I'm kind of good at this thing. And then I continued to move to Central Florida, went to University of Central Florida. Go Knights.
Go Knights. I'm a Knight.
Yes. And I have a degree in international business from UCF. And then I decided here you go, Daddy. Here's your degree. I'm going to go back to dance. So I started teaching at 21, right when I graduated. And it's been nonstop ever since.
So tell me about how you make that when you get to a certain age. You mentioned it a little earlier. That that part of your life is in the past, right? You obviously have rhythm. I have none.
Yeah.
I have zero. But you decide to teach. Why teach?
I've always loved children from little, and I've been teaching since I was 16. So that was just always in the dance. Well, if you're not going to continue dancing, the next best thing and your matriculation in your career is to teach. So I was like, okay, let me see how this teaching thing is gonna go, and it stuck. I love watching a blank canvas from day one, and then at the end of the year, you see, wow, like these kids they're like sponges. They take it all, and they're able to retain all the information they've learned throughout the year, and then do their culminating event, which is their concert at the end of the year. So watching the kids go from knowing absolutely nothing about dance to doing, saying their terminology, in ballet, the form that we use is French. So they're speaking in French. They have to retain the information and then put the costume on, the lights, and not be stage fright and dance in front of, 200, 300, 400, 500 people that, supported them and came to see them. And I think that right there just was amazing.
That would be fulfilling. Like, I don't even like to watch myself dance in the mirror. So, but I used to love when my daughters both went through ballet, dance, and That's what we did back before you were born. And so we put kids in ballet and dance, and I always looked forward to the recitals. I
That was like the
always
best.
looked forward to
and to
it.
see, oh my goodness, they learned all of this in such a short span of time.
And they listened to you guys. They didn't
They
listen to
do.
me.
They listen to us because they want to make us proud. Because if
They
not,
do.
they gonna get it.
I think there's something wonderful about dance for any child, because it teaches you coordination. There's so much that it does for your motor skills and your confidence, right?
Right. Your self-esteem, your discipline, like you said, your locomotor skills, just being able to, I've had some kids who have been, having some issues with walking. And after they've taken dance classes, their walk pattern has changed tremendously. So just on a physical level, their bodies are changing right before their eyes. And then also to chime in with your confidence. I have a lot of kids that are shy, they want to be in the back, but when they get on stage, it's like, oh, who are you? Like, they light up and shine. And then, afterwards they can go back into their little shell. But in that moment, they are like stars. They are the Beyonce of the Destiny's Child group, just the center of attention. I am here, I am on stage, I have the lights and the costume, and I am, I have arrived. So that, with the sparkle in their eyes that I see throughout the years that I've been teaching, that's what makes it all worth it.
God, that's motivating. It motivates you. It makes you keep going and doing, because my daughters remember certain things about dance, but I guarantee you they both went on to be cheerleaders. Okay. And so it gave them that coordination, that basic balance, that structure and grace. There's a grace involved.
There is.
And honestly, my favorite, to be honest, is when the little kids just stand up on the stage and look around, and they do maybe one twirl. That's it. There's something amazing about that. I still look at those home videos. I won't tell my kids I have those, but there's just something so wonderful about that whole process.
Right.
And it's such a great place to get that confidence, to learn some new skills. What was it like for you, since we're talking about COVID, to pivot? You don't have in-person classes anymore for a long time. What was that like for you?
It was definitely challenging. I was actually out of town right before COVID got really bad and they shut everything out, which was during spring break. So I came back and it was like, oof, like, what are we really going to do? So I was like, I did a staff meeting. It was like, guys, we're going to transition into teaching everything on Zoom. And they were like, what? I'm like, we got to do what we got to do. We can't come in. Everything is shut down. And the kids are bored out of their mind. So I was like, let's give them dance. We still have to continue on, because I still planned on doing a recital in June. So I was like, okay, we got to do something. So we did Zoom for 7.5 weeks.
Wow. What was that like?
We kept our same schedule. I had my staff come in, so we had like a whole multimedia situation here at the studio. So we had two screens, 2 cameras, 2 monitors, and everyone had their mic. The kids signed in, and we did our class. So the teachers were in the space, so we were able to, kind of stretch out, because it was kind of hard turning in the living room with the couch and everything all in the way. So I'm like, you guys come to the studio. Let's go ahead and, it's just one of us at a time. So we're not crowded. We're still keeping our social distancing. But let's just have class in the studio, and then just the kids will just sign in on Zoom. And they learned a whole 1.5-hour show on Zoom with 35 numbers.
Wow.
Yes.
What's that like? Because if I were to take that class, I would want to take it to learn, but I would have to have my video off, because nobody wants to see Ted dance.
No, we need a video on.
But I love that you were able to still put together and learn 35 number. Like, that's unbelievable. Was it different age groups? And how were the parents? Were the parents supportive? Were the kids getting online? Was it difficult to keep all of that in order?
The parents were super supportive, because they were going crazy. So they were like, Jere, please come do something with these children before I kill them. So they were looking forward to their hour of Zoom with, whatever genre they have. But I have kids from 2, and my oldest student is 65. Wow. So you sit somewhere in between that, Ted, so you can come take class.
You're real kind. Barely, but yes, I do.
You're there.
tell us, so adults can take classes too. Tell us about the
Absolutely.
dance studio.
I teach from 2 to adult in every genre that you can possibly think of: ballet, tap, hip hop, jazz, modern, contemporary. We do Afro, we do cultural dances, Bollywood, we do African dance. It just depends on what you want. We are a one-stop shop for your artistic needs in the world of dance. So yes, I have classes of my little ones that are 2, that are the cutest things, that retain and do their choreography without a teacher being on stage with them, which has always been my biggest thing. Is these kids are so smart. They're able to learn something and be able to perform it. So I have my 2 and 3-year-olds on stage. They know exactly where to go. They know their steps. So that blows my mind every year. And then it goes up from, I have my elementary kids, my middle school kids, and then I have a pre-professional company of 16 kids, and we do a lot of the community performances throughout Central Florida.
You know, when I met you, I had no idea about this at all. So I love it, because I think that we need this from a community standpoint. We need to try to figure out normalcy, whatever that looks like in the new world. And so you've been able to provide that even when we were shut down. Now, have you moved back to any in-person classes?
Oh yeah, we've been in person since May. Wow. So I had 4 weeks to put together the show that we've been practicing over Zoom for. So it was like, and to find a venue that, everything was closed, but I am in partnership with Orlando Junior Academy in Central Florida, here off of Princeton. So I have a dance program there. So they were like, yeah, Jere, come. Well, we'll host your recital for you. So we had 4 weeks to put together, a show, and they were brilliant. The kids just jumped right in. I'm sure they were happy to be out of their, home and space, but 100%. They jumped right in. They remembered their choreography. The only thing was just some people were going left and some people were going right, because, they didn't flip the camera. But other than that, they knew their steps, and it was such a smooth transition from Zoom to the stage in those 4 weeks.
So what did you do to stay? I like to ask people this, especially since you're a creative. Dancers are creatives, I believe. What did you do to stay focused during all of this? Did you have every day you had to go and meditate for an hour? Did you exercise? Did you just bury yourself in work? What was it that you did to try to stay sane?
I was here, believe it or not. This is my happy place, even though I don't perform as much as I used to. Just being in the space and being able to just communicate with the kids, even if it was through, social media and Zoom, just to be here kind of kept me going. Like, okay, I know I have to go to the studio Monday through Saturday, so I'm not going to sit at home all day and eat and shop. Me and Amazon were going to be best friends. I was like, So, we would come early, and, us as teachers would kind of, play around with different ideas and choreography to prepare ourselves for when the kids came in for Zoom. And that was from like 3 to 9. So that was like pretty much half of my day that I was situated here. So it was good.
I'm thinking that there's a lot of people out there, I'm sure, that are trying to, some people are really now starting to try to move or shift their kids back into normal activities like dance. So if somebody wants to go to the dance studio, no level of experience required. You have everybody there, correct?
Mm-hmm. Of all walks of life.
And so what are some of your favorite dance stuff? I have an idea for a dance show that we will do, and I'll talk to you about. But what are some of your favorite dance? Is ballet, because you're trained, you're classically trained? Is that your favorite, or do you like to incorporate a lot of things in when you're choreographing?
Like I said, I am a trained ballerina. But as I transition to modern dance, that has been my thing for the moment. I really enjoy using the technique from the ballet, but kind of throwing away the traditional ballet shoes and the tights, and kind of getting on the floor and moving in isolations, and just making the body make beautiful, shapes and in the space that we're in together. So that's kind of been my thing in these past couple of years.
I think modern dance, all of it's fascinating to me, because I have no rhythm. So it's wonderful to watch people with rhythm. But I think that there's this, you all emote with your bodies. You really emote, and you tell a story and tell
Yes.
the emotions behind the story
Yes.
with your movements. There's a grace to it. Even modern, everything that you do, there's some sort of grace to that. And that's why I always want to encourage kids or adults who have an interest to go. You should sign up at
And take a
Jere's
class.
and take a class. And
Take a class.
We were
Yes.
talking on a show I did this week about how people are afraid to try new things because they have this embarrassment thing. They have this
Right.
feeling like, oh my God, somebody's going to watch me try to dance. It's embarrassing. Maybe it is, but there's something freeing about doing something so outside your norm, like dance.
I agree.
And it just helps you grow. There's so much growth that you can have.
Absolutely. We are big on creating artists here. So it's not about just being a cookie cutter dancer. It's about really, like you said, which I'm so impressed with, you know, bringing the emotion. So you have to emote to tell a story. It's not just about you moving. It's what is the audience going to get out of it? You're not just doing it for fun while you're in that moment, while you're training here, because I'm a concert-based studio. So we don't do competition. It's just strictly just building and growing future artists for the future. So that is the soul, heart, and heartbeat of the school. So the kids from 2 to 65, they know that they have to tell a story on stage. And it's not just about, oh, I'm learning choreography and I'm going to be a robot. No, even though, you know, we give you 8 counts, it's up to you to develop those 8 counts to make it your own. So that's what we do, a lot of improv and performance development so that they are able to have their own voice choreographically. So it's not just, oh, I'm going to do it Miss Jere's way. No, I wanted you to do the steps that Miss Jere is asking you to do, but I want you to make it your own so that you're organic and you're developing your own choreographic voice as well.
I think that, like, for example, I've seen, because the girls were in dance, more versions of the Nutcracker than I ever care to see again.
Right.
And I used to go and I used to not, you know, you just, as a parent, you go, oh my God, it's cute when they're up there. And then the rest of the story can be a challenge. What I do notice though, is every performer brings something different. And so I could not enjoy the part before, but if somebody comes on and emotes and there's this grace and I'm feeling it, then you really get sucked into the story and you are following it. And that's the power of anything dance related. So many of us want to be able to dance, and so many of us appreciate it, but we don't have it. But we are so thankful that there are people who are that graceful and have learned, or at least took a risk. Take a risk as a human.
Right, and took a class just to say I did it. I tried it. It wasn't my thing, but at least I can appreciate it.
Somebody asked me once to do the local version of Dancing with the Stars. And once they told me the regiment that I would have to follow and how much dedication, I was like, yeah, no, I'll have a cocktail and I'll buy a ticket. But there is no, I didn't have the time, but that's the kind of cool stuff. Like, that would have been outside of my comfort zone. And I guess I want to challenge people to go outside of their comfort zone. What do you want to do long term? What are your plans long term?
Actually, I want to franchise. I want to franchise the brand. That's like my 5-year goal. We're actually getting ready to move to a bigger space and location, so I'm really excited about that. But just planting my little seeds all over the world. That's my long-term goal. Because the brand is, you know, I believe in the brand. A lot of people who come in here have really appreciated and grown and love the brand. So why not drop the little nuggets for everybody else to experience?
So who, if I say this word, I want you to tell me the first person that comes to mind. Hero or somebody who made a great influence on you.
I have to say my mother, who I named my school after. She is Inez Patricia. She is actually deceased. She passed away from breast cancer, and it'd be in October, so woo for Breast Cancer Month. But yes, she gave me my first dance class. She signed me up, and she invested a lot of money into, you know, my training. So I only wanted to do what I could do for her was to pay homage to her by naming the school after her, to keep her legacy alive, even though she's not with us here physically.
It's beautiful. Yes, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yes.
Go get your boobs checked.
Yes, please.
Guys, ladies, I don't care. go. There's lots
Yes.
of programs out there. If you don't have insurance, please reach out to me. I can get you with somebody who can get that exam done. So critical. Any parting words of wisdom for them? Anything you want to share? Like here's my vision of a next show.
Okay.
I would
I'm
like
ready.
to do maybe 5 or 10 of us in this Zoom and do one of your classes. I'll get some volunteers. And God help us all. But I
am down. And guess what? I will do a private class just for you guys. So you're not with the other students. So there's no judgment. But yes, I am down for that all. You just let me know a time and a place.
About it.
Yes. And you'll just be in your own space. So just be you and the camera. And we got it. We're gonna rock it out.
We could probably sell tickets to that. All right. So, Jere James, you are such a sweet, wonderful human being. I'm so happy to have you on the show. Guys, go to InezPatriciaDance.com.
Yes.
Reach out to Jere. Reach out to me. Please, this is something cool. So, if you're an adult and you're thinking about doing something fun and different, 2020 is your year, babies.
Yes.
I just want to tell you, go forth and do good.
Yes.
As much as you can. But you can reach out to me and I'll get you to Jere. But do something. And we'll have Jere back on and we'll do a fun show. Dance class.
Yes.
All right, Jere James, Inez, Patricia, dance.com. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And big shout out to our buddy, Calvin
Bolden, who gave us the yes for the Bolden Tea Realty.
That's right. That's right. We love Calvin. We love Rondra. All right, yes. Jere James, thank you so much. You guys have a great day. Reach out to Jere. What do you have to lose? Something new outside of your 9 dots. Go do it.
Do it.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you.